The night shift started like any other, clock in at 10, check the list, and let the building become mine until the buses arrived. At first the emptiness felt like a gift, no yelling students, no urgent emails, just my mop and the steady thump of my own footsteps. But by the end of my first month the school stopped feeling empty and started feeling like something else entirely, like a place that only pretended to sleep. The basement was the worst. The rest of the school was warm with fluorescent light and routine. Down there it smelled like old cement and secrets. Lights hummed half-heartedly, rows of broken desks leaned against concrete walls, and pipes thudded at random like a distant heartbeat. An older custodian joked that nobody should go down there alone. I laughed then. I stopped laughing the night I had to fetch the folding chairs. I stood at the top of the stairwell for a long minute, weighing whether to bother the supervisor. Pride won. I opened the heavy door and the stairwell swallowed me. Only a couple of bulbs came to life when I flipped the switch, leaving long stretches of black between pools of weak light. My flashlight cut the darkness into a narrow, trembling path. The folding chairs were in the second storage room on the left. The door squealed like someone complaining as I pushed it open. Inside the chairs sat in uneven stacks, dust rising when I tugged at them. I hefted 4 at a time, counting my steps toward the stairwell, when a faint dragging sound scraped down the corridor, slow and deliberate, like something pulling itself along the floor. I froze, heart in my throat. The sound stopped. I told myself it was pipes or rats and forced my shoulders to move. Halfway to the stairs a blast of cold hit my face. The basement had no windows, no vents, nothing that should make the air turn to ice. My breath fogged in front of me. I swung the flashlight and the beam found a classroom door 20 feet down, cracked open. I hadn't opened it. Every instinct screamed to run. Instead, I clutched the chairs and inched forward, each step loud and traitorous. The door hung ajar, the darkness inside deep as old velvet. I called out, voice brittle, "Hello? Anyone down here?" Silence answered so complete it felt like pressure on my ears. I shoved the door open with a hand that trembled. Empty, just stacks of dusty boxes and tables upside down. I stepped inside to take a look, flashlight scanning every corner. Behind me, something moved, not visible, not sound at first, just a change in the air, a weight pressing against the skins of the hallway. Then a slow shuffle, like heavy-soled shoes being dragged, came from the corridor behind the storage room. I spun and pointed the beam down the hall. Nothing. But the feeling stayed, eyes, or something like them, on my back. I backed away toward the stairwell, breath quick and hard. The dragging followed, steady now, a deliberate rhythm that matched my pulse and made my teeth ache with the need to run. I grabbed the chairs and ran 2 steps at a time, up and out into the main hallway. The bright lights felt obscene after the basement's dark. My hands were slick with sweat even though the night air tasted cold. I locked the stairwell door behind me, in a rational motion, but I needed a line between me and whatever was down there. For a week I refused to go back alone. Then, while sweeping the 3rd floor, I saw another door open in the distance, one I had already checked. Inside, a box was moved, scuff marks slicing the linoleum. I told myself someone had snuck in, some prank gone wrong. I told myself a lot of things. When I crept back with the supervisor an hour later, the room was empty, but the air hummed with something I couldn't name. Later, as we stood in the hallway, the basement door rattled far below like a fist against wood, and 3 slow bangs rolled through the floor. The sound traveled up my spine and settled into the hollow center of me. Years later I still wake at the memory of that dragging shuffle, the way it sounded close enough to touch but far enough to stay out of sight. I still avoid the stairwell when I can, and sometimes, when the house is too quiet and the night is too deep, I can almost hear those same slow footsteps pacing somewhere just beyond my walls, patient, waiting, and I remember how small and alone the school made me feel in the dark. If you felt the chill too, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. More true horror stories are waiting in the shadows.